Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. I hope everyone is healthy and strong and keeping the faith during these trying times. Today I've got some Q&A for William and a possible Dogman encounter from a subscriber. Depends on how I feel during this recording. Before we get into that, a couple links. As you know, I rely on my Patreon, my PayPal, and my merch to help this channel to continue to grow and go. All of those links are in the description below. I also have a second channel for creepypasta, fan fiction, and scary voice acting. Stories that really don't fit on this channel. Now, if that's anything you're into, follow that link and give those stories a listen. You may just like what you hear. Also, just something I want to get off my chest. First and foremost, I never once said the picture of the hyena-like cryptid was a Dogman. I said it was a hyena-like cryptid sent in by a subscriber. It was, there was a small encounter story attached with it. And I never once said it was proof from William. Apparently one subscriber wants to just keep holding on to that and, stating that I don't know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about a Dogman or a coyote or a wolf. Well, I do. I've had my encounter, and I never once said it was proof from William. I never once said it was a Dogman. If you would actually just take the cotton out of your ears, sit back and listen to the encounters, maybe then you would know what I say. Also, I decided to block you, along with two other subscribers or people who said they unsubscribed who want to keep talking trash on my channel. I don't need it. It's my channel and it's the other subscribers' channel to feel comfortable, listen to some encounters, and possibly share theirs. We don't want bullshit here. So if you're gonna do your bullshit, do it somewhere else. Go on Reddit, go somewhere else. I don't know. But now you can't because I've blocked you. So now I've said my piece. The only thing I want to say also is I hope everyone, even these guys, are healthy, strong, and the only thing that can get us through this right now is prayer and love. So with that said, let's get on with today's upload. Shall we? Q&A with William. Jeffrey Sean Berg asked, are there Dogman and werewolf encounters in the northwestern areas? My answer, Sean, is that there are in every state in the lower 48 plus Alaska and Canada. They are all nomadic, and they travel to where there is a good food source till it starts to run short and is hard for them to catch. Then they move into a different area. Greg Carter asked, why did we release them just to have to hunt them down and destroy them one at a time? Well, Greg, the plan was not to have to hunt them down and destroy them one at a time. The plan was to give them their freedom till we needed them again, so they were put back into the wild and released in 2008. All went well with our released and bred models till 2011, and someone changed the settings by computer that was not of pay grade height to make that change, and problems started with our released or our breed models. But the problems with the wild ones had been on the increase for years, so I hope this helps you with your questions. Our intention was to reclaim them in wartime and use them again like we did in Vietnam. They had an almost 100% success rate there. Dorian James asked, which one is more difficult to hunt? Well, Dorian, the most badass of the three would be the Bigfoot. I was backing up an agent one day who was shooting a .375 H&H Magnum. We finally caught up to this thing, and he lets off a shot at maybe 65 yards and hits this thing in the lower back. and it spins and looks at us. It didn't go down, it grabbed its back and let out a roar. And I stepped from behind the other agent to get where I could get a shot, and he calmly said he had it. I told him okay, and he bolted his gun again as the Bigfoot let out a roar and started to charge. He shot it one more time mid-chest, which made it stop in its tracks at about 55 yards from us. You could see the blood pouring, and this thing was just standing there, wiping the blood away. He said, "I can't believe this thing is still standing." I told him his gun was too small. He was putting his final round in the barrel, and something happened. He was having trouble getting the round into the chamber, and we were both looking at the gun, and he finally got it in, but the Bigfoot was in a deadly charge by this time, and was 20 yards out when he shot and missed it altogether. So I stepped in front of him with my .458 Winchester Magnum and shot it at 6 yards. And it slid under me and knocked me down, but it was dead. I had shot it in the head. Arlene Freiberg asks, was the LBL true? It was true, Arlene. It was in 1982. It was one of my dad's cases towards the end of his career. It was a werewolf, and it destroyed that family. It was a wild one with no ear markings. The tree they found the little girl in is the same tree he killed the werewolf in 2 or 3 nights later. That's a bad place. They really like that area for some reason. Jeff, this was the last 4 questions, unless you have some I answered more than I intended to. Sorry for that. How are you holding up on this virus thing up in New York? Hope you're feeling well, and your daughter as well. My wife was unable to find any loopholes in New York school laws except for paying the tuition to the district. Sorry, William. My question to William was Sebastian using some sort of dialect, English or some sort of ancient dialect, or was it guttural growls? And this is what he responded with. Sebastian can speak, but he will only do it when he is alone with a person that he trusts. He's highly intelligent. You must just sit down with him and let him take his time with you. He is gentle at these times, but he still cannot be trusted. He is the one that killed 5 agents 3 weeks had passed. And I went in and got their bodies out and sat and talked with him and moved him to a different location that night. He didn't understand why he had to be moved, and they were just trying to force him with a cattle prod and try to take him out. After I explained it to him, he went with me, and we looked at his new one closer, and he was fine with it. He tells me that they all understood what we say, and they can hear us talking up to 250 yards away. As for the Bigfoot breeding program, that came in at 1967. They captured a male and a female and tried for a few years to breed them into captivity. But it never happened. The male got sick and died in captivity, and they took and released the female Bigfoot in Cadiz Cove, Tennessee. But the Dogman program, they were able to breed, and also the werewolf was able to breed. Another thing, Sebastian says the Dogman can also speak. But I've never heard one speak, but they can get their thoughts across to you very easy. Hope this helps with your questions. William. Here are some more answers to questions from tonight's episode, Jeff. It will probably take me a little while to get my next hunt together because I will have to train the new agents as they come in. It's never easy. Once you put them in front of Sebastian or Raphael, and they can't move, a lot of them quit at that point, so we will see how many will make it past that part of the training. You stay away from any place that you could catch that virus with your immune system like it is. Everything delivered to you for a while. Jonathan Wright asks, are Sasquatch interdimensional or have the ability to cloak? The answer to both is no. They are a solid being. They have no supernatural powers. They are masters at camouflage, but it's all natural ability. Rick C. asked, when are agents actually told what they will be doing? They will be taken into the file room and they will pull out any file, just as I had done. They then study that file. Could be on human case or domestic animal case. No one ever really knows what type of case gets pulled out. He will then be tested on that file and ask if he wants to continue this. His first time, he is offered an out. From there, he is handcuffed and blindfolded and taken to the underground facility and put before either one of the creatures without his knowledge of it. After the creature approaches and gets in position, the blindfold is removed and the creature will have at it for 5 to 7 minutes. We will see the agent's reaction. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. After he is given a chance to leave, if he doesn't leave, he then goes into the field with an agent to start his field training. A jar of pickles asked, can a dogman ever be peaceful to a human? The answer would be yes, but you cannot trust these creatures. They are wild animals and have to be treated as such. If you start putting your trust in one of them, this is when something bad is going to happen to you. They will do anything they can to win over your trust. The only one that I have had absolutely no violence out of is a female werewolf, and you so rarely ever see one. They stay hidden away from our sight. It's like they took to heart about their freedom, and there is not one recorded incident of a tagged female werewolf ever doing anything wrong. And I had 2 females save me in Wyoming one winter, but that's another story. William, if you're listening to this, that's the story I'd like next, if possible, please. Bear Attack 322 asked, do we as agents have regular psych checkups? Also, what about the suicide prevention? We do have regular psych evals every 60 days, but I will say it does not help with what we see and what we dream. It's just not me that has these dreams and nightmares and night sweats. All of us have them. Some try sleeping with their wives, but have beat the living hell out of them. I'm not going to do that to mine. So we have our fun, and I go into a different room and try to sleep. As far as I know, no agent has ever committed suicide while on the job. Not very many make it to retirement. Heather Sargent asks, can they communicate telepathically? The answer here is yes and no. What I mean is, if you are facing down a Bigfoot or a Dogman, you can speak to them and you can watch and listen to them, and they will somehow get their point across to you if you give them the time to do so. If you speak to a werewolf and give him time, he has the ability to speak back to you. But with all of them, it's going to depend on what is happening at that very moment. Like with my first hunt, I tried to give the werewolf a way out of being killed. Or he could have lived and went back with me to Virginia, but he chose to die. Betty Midden asked, will a 500 mag work? Yes, that will work on either the Dogman or the werewolf. Remember to put one in the head and make sure it's dead. I've never just left them lying with body shots. Leslie Smith asked, do Dogman and werewolf go out of their way to scare people? They enjoy it. I want to say that they go out of their way to scare people, but it would be like a game to them, more than a werewolf than a Dogman, as you don't see it as often as you do with a Dogman. Daryl Ogle asked, are we the only unit that does this? And have we ever been requested by other countries and loaned to them? This is a very good question. The answer is yes. We are the only unit that deals with them as in the big 3. There are many other cryptids also, but as far as killing people, they don't. They may scare them, but no harm comes. We have been requested by 15 other countries, and we turn them all down. I've spent hours on the phone trying to talk them through what needs to be done, but that never works. I just listen to someone die on the other end. Alright guys, that was the Q&A with William. I did say I may have a subscriber encounter to share, but I'm a little tired tonight. I wanted to get the Q&A out. I know you guys like that. I wish I was a little more livelier to do a little bit more recording, but I don't know, with the stress of everything and just kind of just getting wiped out, I'm just going to cut it short for the night. And I do have a lot more encounters on my desk. I will be communicating with William and hopefully getting some more encounters from him and some more Q&A. Once again, I want to thank everybody for all of your support, and please remember what I said at the intro. The only thing that's going to get us as a whole, the human population, through this as a whole is prayer and love. Let's remember to be kind to each other and just be safe and vigilant. Remember, people are afraid. People are just as afraid as you are. And I don't know. I just hope that we make it through this one. And with that, guys, I'm going to bid you farewell.